We have yet to see any gameplay on Assassin's Creed Mirage, but there has been a lot of information out, and I wanted to recap that for all of you so you can have it presented in a nice, neat, singular video so you don't have to go chasing different articles and leads. It's all right here. So we are going to do that now. Without further ado, remember, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave it a nice, thick, and juicy like as always. Of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, you want more like it, be sure to hit that big red sexy subscribe button right underneath the video. Also gotta thank my channel members. You guys help make these videos possible. If you want to join, get access to the exclusive perks that they get, be sure to check out that blue join button. Anyway, let's begin. First thing I want to talk about is going to be the setting for Assassin's Creed Mirage. We know it's going to be Baghdad, and we know it's going to be in around 860 to 862 CE starting out, which is before Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which starts in about 872 CE. Now, this is going to be around the time of the Anarchy of Samarra, where our main character Basim is from, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go there. This is also going to be at the height of the Islamic Golden Age, which is a time period and setting itself that inspired the 1001 Nights, or as people know it, 1001 Arabian Nights. Baghdad will have 4 unique districts, which is awesome, and if you've looked at a map of Baghdad in the 9th century, unfortunately the entire city was destroyed in the 13th century, so the team actually had to go back and do a ton of research as to what it looked like. But if you look at a map of it, according to experts, there was a big circle in the middle, is referred to as the circular city. It is a fantastically unique looking city, and I think it is a perfect setting for this game. We do get one shot of Basim sort of standing on top of a building looking out over the city. You can't totally see the circular aspect of it, but it's going to be there. If they mess that up, that would be an egregious mess up, and I don't see that happening. There is also the Baghdad House of Wisdom that is going to be featured in the game, which will be a prominent landmark. And I imagine there is going to be something that has to do with a piece of Eden or something important. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of vault underneath it potentially. Who knows? But again, that's getting into stuff that we don't know. Now, this is going to be taking place before the Hidden Ones transition into the Assassins, actually about a couple hundred years before that does take place. However, we will be seeing the building of the Castle of Alamut, which will be one of the Assassin strongholds, along with Masyaf later on down the line by the time we get to Assassin's Creed 1. Now, they have said that we will see the beginnings of the transition of the Hidden Ones into the Assassins as we know them later on, but again, it is a couple hundred years before that is going to take place. For reference, the historical Assassins didn't come about until around the 11th century. This game is taking place in the 9th century, so there you have it. Now, talking story, since we sort of lightly touched on that, Basim will begin his journey as a street thief, which again sort of ties into that 1001 Nights aspect. I'm sure there will be more connections with the story than that, but we'll have to see. There are things, as we'll discuss, like the djinn that we see in the trailer and whatnot. But again, I doubt it's going to be just a total retelling of 1001 Nights. We do know Basim will become a master assassin. We also know that we are going to see the awakening of Loki within him. The reason I say awakening and not necessarily the transition to being Loki is because at least the way Valhalla writer and the person that brought sages to this franchise back in Black Flag, Darby McDevitt, describes it is sages are not two different minds in one body necessarily. It's really someone who is remembering who they were in a past life type of deal, which is very interesting, and I'm intrigued to see how that plays off in this game. Darby didn't write this game, so it may be a little bit different, but we'll just have to see how that plays out. And I'm very interested to see how Loki does appear to Basim. As it was mentioned in Valhalla, Loki found it a little strange how Odin appeared to Eivor, so I'm interested to see how Loki appears to Basim. Even though we see him as a djinn, is it sort of a hostile takeover kind of situation, or I'll get away from the speculation. Let's get back to things that we do know are coming to the game. So there are other characters we have seen in the trailer, such as a mentor in Roshan. She is the female assassin that we see assassinate the guards and rescue Basim, bring him to Alamut and start training him. She's also the one that's narrating at the beginning. Really cool voice. I'm intrigued to see how their relationship plays out. There is also 2 other characters that have been hinted by Jean-Luc Salah in interviews with Access the Animus, including another mentor type figure and then another female hidden one, but they haven't gone into any details with who they are and what their role is going to be. Lastly, let's talk about the gameplay. This is what I think most of us are interested in, and I would love to see some actual Mirage gameplay. But it is said to be a love letter to the franchise, a return to traditional Assassin's Creed gameplay. The parkour has supposedly been revamped to be similar to something like Assassin's Creed Unity, which is a fan favorite style of parkour where you have the fancy animations, and it does, I enjoy Unity's parkour. I think a lot of people really do. The one thing I'm worried about with this parkour system, and I'm gonna just drop this opinion in here, is I hope it's not just a bunch of animations with no player control. Unity's parkour was great because you had the cool animations, but you did also have a decent amount of player control. The recent titles, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, have basically no player control aside from the direction you're going. What I mean is things such as back ejects, side ejects, that are going to be frequently utilized. And seeing as this is a game set in a city, hopefully we do get a lot more of traversal opportunities to be able to use these tools so that we can perform some really fun parkour maneuvers throughout Baghdad. I've also seen that stealth and escape tools are going to be making a return, which is going to be awesome. We saw it in the trailer. Again, the trailer, I know it's CGI, it's not gameplay, but whatever. They have said that tools like the smoke bombs we saw in the trailer, the poison traps we saw in the trailer, and among other stealth tools are going to be coming back to this game, and I'm very excited for that because that gives you plenty of ways to interact with the world and interact with story missions and approach targets in various ways. It's really nice to see that, and the reason I'm also excited for that is because there's also going to be large crowds returning. Now, they haven't totally said how the crowds are going to work. Are they going to be static like we got when Unity launched and is to this day, or are they going to be the living crowds that we thought we were going to get with Unity based on the trailers that they showed us but didn't work, so that it's a lot, I know. But I would love to see the living crowds because there could be so many opportunities to be able to utilize those in the open world and just add such a variety to the gameplay, mixed with the stealth tools, mixed with the parkour. There's so much potential there. Lastly, speaking of potential and fun and opportunities, Blackbox Missions are going to be returning. These were fan favorites in both Unity and Syndicate. They were also brought back for the Valhalla Siege of Paris DLC. These are awesome. I'm happy they're coming back. It's just so great how many opportunities they open up for you and how much replayability there is going to be for you when you have black box missions. Now, the only thing holding these black box missions back is the fact that they've said that there isn't a way to go back and replay them. So take, for example, the more traditional Assassin's Creed games. You can go into your memories and replay previous ones, and it sort of acted as a pseudo new game plus because you could use higher tier gear to go back and play older missions. In Unity, games like that, it was really fun. Offered you new ways to approach each mission as you got more tools, and you could explore the different black box opportunities. This game won't have that, so we'll have to rely on saves, or maybe they will bring in a new game plus, I don't know, but it is a shame that there isn't just a go back and replay memory button. Maybe that's because there is no modern day that's going to be featured, at least not in a prominent role. They said there's going to be some small amount of it, but it's not going to be significant. Like, don't expect entire gameplay sections like we had with Desmond or with Layla. Not going to be anything like that. Honestly, might be something like we got in Unity where it's some cutscenes and that's about it. But yeah, I know it should have been in the story section, not the gameplay section, but I digress. Editor Jaws jumping in here. I also want to point out that the Eagle is coming back so that you can mark targets. Apparently, it's not super clear how it's going to work. The way they make it sound, that it's going to be a little bit like Origins and how it was, but we are also getting Eagle Vision back. So is it going to be like Valhalla or like Origins? I don't know. Eagle's name is going to be Enkidu, which is from Arabic mythology. So it'd be interesting to see how all of that plays out. Anyway, back to the rest of the video. Anyway, that's all that we know about Assassin's Creed Mirage. If I missed anything, let me know down below. Let's have a conversation. Are you looking forward to this game, or are you like, I'm enjoying God of War? Let's keep playing that. Let me know. Let's talk about it, and I will see you guys in the next video.